Hi guys, BUSqaller here. Um, Today we're going to play a little Fallen Enchantress Legendary Heroes. The first thing that I want to do here is that I make crappy characters to play in the scenarios, giving each one of them a weakness and nothing really special. This is to make it funner to go against some crappy guys. I'm not very good at this. I know people talk about pulling off just beating it on ridiculous left and right and stuff, and I just, wow, very impressive to do that. So I just make little random characters. When I had the other version of this, just picked this up on the Steam winter sale, because everything's cheap on Steam right now. Actually, I probably picked up close to 20 games for very cheap, because that's what they have there now. Steam has moved to kind of a mass gaming platform where it just has so many games on it, and a lot of them aren't even finished very much, or worth whatever they were written on. But hey, I can't make them, so more power to people that pull that off. So yeah, I'm just customizing these little people and calling them whatever their weakness is, what their name is. So we're gonna go through this, and it's gonna take some time. While we're doing that, let's do this. Let's talk about the Week 17 football picks. I'm gonna start doing this from now on. All my commentary is going to have sports-related stuff into it for you sports fans out there to listen to and talk about. Football is my number one. I'm sure if you've ever watched any of my other videos, I always talk about football. Football's number one. Kind of like March Madness. Number two, NBA during the playoffs. There's just so many NBA games. It's hard to, it's just hard to watch it all or whatever. College football can be good at times from the West Coast, so I root for the Pac-10, so I'll be rooting for Oregon. And then, so for that part, we'll talk about that later or whatever. Let's see. Give that guy a horse. Thought that was kind of interesting. New change to that is you're allowed to have starting horse equipment. It's kind of cool. So let's start with the picks for football. I'm just going off ESPN's website here. We got Baltimore at Cleveland. Not an AFC guy myself, so not really sure. I think the Ravens are in the playoffs, or they're really close to it, or whatever. The quarterback makes a lot of money. The other quarterback, Johnny Manziel, he's little, by the way. Man, he looks little. It's unbelievable. Like, him and Russell Wilson are probably the same size, I would guess. But he looks just so much littler than that. But for this pick, and gotta go Baltimore. I think Cleveland is not that good, and that's kind of what the ESPN people are saying anyways. So that's that one. Next pick down the line here is the Saints at the Buccaneers. Just watched the Buccaneers game the other week. Not very impressed with the Buccaneers offense. Probably going to have to go with the Saints. Saints are really streaky, but they're at the Buccaneers. But I just can't see Drew Brees. I can't believe that he would be done yet. So definitely going Saints on that one. See over here, we're still making guys. And next up is the Jets at the Dolphins. I've seen both these teams play once this year. Jets in the early part of the season, Dolphins a little later, not much later. The Jets had some quarterback problems. Geno Smith, I don't think he's the one. So I think the the Dolphins' defense will prevail and the Dolphins will win that one. Next pick here, next up is the Texans at the Jaguars. Blake Bortles. Bet he didn't think that was going to be how the NFL lifestyle was. Getting creamed all the time and whatever. And I don't even know who the Texans quarterback is. Again, I'm not a big AFC guy, so Jaguars are terrible though, so I think the Texans will win. Next up, Bears at Vikings. NFC match. NFC North match. Bears benching Jay Cutler, and then that guy got hurt. Jimmy Clausen got hurt, so he's back in for his last game as a Bear. I can't imagine they'll bring Jay Cutler back. And Teddy Bridgewater, got little hands. He's doing pretty good though. Can't complain. He's their quarterback going forward, so he will be winning this game too. So I'm going to take the Vikings over the Bears. Next up is the Washington Guys versus the Cowboys. To be honest, I don't really care if it's called the Redskins or not, but some people do, so we'll just call them the Washington Guys against the Cowboys. Cowboys making the playoffs. Washington is not. Cowboys have something to play for. They could probably get a better seed if they, there's a chance of it. Probably not though. But I'm thinking that they will play well enough in Washington to pull off a win. So we're gonna go Tony Romo, and from my home state, and gonna win. So we're still. And then now we're picking the game, and like I said, I'm not very good at this game, so I just pick kind of easier difficulties for this different guys, and then the randomness of it, and the map is going to be random with lots of randomness. I love the random aspect of it. I like slow-paced games. I don't like fast technology ones and fast production, so I kind of went with just slow game, but random land and monsters and stuff like that. This game really got some good to it. It has some goodness to it. I love the characters and the monsters and the armies and everything, and I've actually yet to beat a level because it gets a little hard at the end, I think, and I try not to use any exploits, like I remember hearing that if you just take all archers you can just cream everybody, but it's kind of lame, so I try to play within the boundaries of what the AI can handle and stuff like that. But okay, here picking my base and casting spells and whatnot. We'll keep going with the pick center here, the picks in the football. We got the Colts at the Titans. Whoa, what happened to the Colts? They got crushed. But the Titans are terrible. Jake Locker's done. He won't be back. I think you can hear my bird, unfortunately. African Gray, 8 years old. He's kind of loud and annoying, but he's trying to sleep, and I'm keeping him awake, I think. But hopefully that won't be too annoying. The Colts are going to rebound and win that pretty handily. The Bills and the Patriots. Watch both of these teams play. The Patriots are pretty good. The Bills, not so very good. So I'm going Patriots over the Bills. Alright, and Patriots, I don't know how they do it, but they just, year in and year out, they're just there. Next up, we have the Rams at the Seahawks. I live in Washington State. I'm not a Seahawk fan, so last year has been a little tough, with them crushing Denver in the Super Bowl, so I would love for the Rams to win here and knock the Seahawks out of the first seed, the number 1 seed, but that's not going to happen. The Rams are just they're not there. I mean, it's not even going to be competitive. The Seahawks are going to blow through them, and then the Seahawks are going to be the team to beat in the playoffs. Unfortunately, they might go back to the Super Bowl. If they go back to the Super Bowl, hopefully they run into a nice Patriots team that beats them. But or we might get a "you mad bro" again from Mr. Richard Sherman after he beats Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. But they have to get there first. So again, Seahawks easily. Next up, Raiders at the Broncos. Favorite player plays for the Raiders, Charles Woodson. Love that guy. He's amazing. He's awesome. He is not enough. The Broncos will get their act together going into the playoffs, so the Raiders will lose and lose handily. Then we have me adjusting settings over here. I am recording after the fact this narrative, so they have options I've never noticed before. I didn't like the auto turn. It was like auto finishing my turn. It was driving me nuts. Like, what? Why is it doing that? And then I figured it out, so you can turn it off. But yep, so that's what I'm doing right now in the game. Next pick is the Chargers at the Chiefs. Let's see. I think I've watched one game each for these games too. One time. I don't really know. I'm just gonna go with the home team. Say it'll be the Chiefs that'll win. Yeah, that's a tough one. I just don't know enough about them. Alright, and next up, the Cardinals at the 49ers. Wow, Cardinals, what are they, 9-1 at one time, and just rolling, looked like they're going to win the division, and then Carson Palmer got hurt, and Drew Stanton came in, and he wasn't very good, and he got hurt, and that guy that played for him last week, I can't remember the guy's name, he was terrible. So now they're going to go and put that other guy in, that guy that threw one pass that was nowhere near the wide receiver, against a very dysfunctional San Francisco 49ers team. Wow. Hey, this is tough because they both are just not working. Not working at all. I think that, I don't know, I'm just going to flip a coin and it's going to be the Cardinals are going to win. That's how much faith I have in that game. Alright, next up. Eagles at the Giants. Eagles like the Cardinals. They were 9-2 and looking like they were doing pretty good. They were leading their division and kicking some butt with their high octane offense, and I don't know what happened, but they sputter now and do lots of 3 outs. Mark Sanchez replaced Nick Foles, who wasn't playing great anyways. It's not like he was phenomenal. Oh yeah, and just going to Fallen Enchantress. The change to the tree here. That's interesting. So, but hold on a second. Yeah, so they changed the tree here, and so that's kind of new to me. I haven't seen it work yet, so I guess my guy leveled. Anyways, so the next pick here is the Eagles at the Giants, and yeah, so Eli Manning, Mark Sanchez, that's another tough one to pick because they're just both floundering, but I'm thinking that the Eagles are going to go out with a win before they get sent home because they don't have any playoffs this year. Not going to the playoffs. And then we have the Lions at the Packers for the NFC North Division title. This game makes me nervous for the Packers. It's a second round or a bye and second seed if they win. It's a wild card and on the road if they lose. They are not a good road team. They have not done well. They do well at home. Their defense has its moments. The Lions defense is very good. The run defense is phenomenal. Like, I heard that if they can hold the Packers under 13 yards, it'll be the best run defense of all time. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's pretty cool. I'm looking for the Packers to win here and get the 2nd seed and the Seahawks the 1st seed, and the Lions to go through the playoff or go to the playoffs via the wild card and shock some teams because defenses travel well, offenses do not. So moving on here, just running my guys around a little bit there, and not sure what's going on yet because I'm kind of looking at the other screen right now, but there's just so much information with this game, and it's just cool how you can do so much things in it. Some of it's coming back to me. I haven't played it in a while. Played the old version, but not this version, so that's kind of what's happening. Okay, next one, Panthers at Falcons. Here's another divisional South team that's going to win the South and host a playoff game. And some, 11-5 or 12-4 maybe team has to go play them. So they're at the Falcons. I think that is enough for the Falcons to win. They'll pull it off. They'll win the division with 7-9, host a playoff game, sending the Panthers on home. The Bengals at the Steelers. Bengals are streaky, it seems like. Again, AFC games, just don't watch them. So, Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger's had 2 good games. The rest of the time, I don't think he's been playing very well. The Bengals defense, I think, is good. I think they'll pull off the win. So, I think that's what we'll have going on there. So there you go. That's the picks for today, for week 17. If you watch this after the fact, maybe you'll find out how bad I picked or how good I picked. I don't know. I didn't try to put it much, what do you call it? Homerism? Not homerism. What's the word? When you're like, you root for him so hard that you want him. I can't think of the word now. Anyways. Alright, so let's go back to Fallen Enchantress Legendary Heroes. I have to take some time out remembering everything about this game because it's been a while since I played it. Let's see where we are. Alright, I guess what we talk about here is League MVP. Who should the League MVP for the NFL be? Should it be Aaron Rodgers? Or J.J. Watt? DeMarco Murray? Russell Wilson? Peyton Manning? Tom Brady? Those like the top ones. I don't think Russell Wilson's in the conversation, but some people around here would like to think that he's, MVP worthy. He's if we look at his stats for Russell Wilson, for yards, just yards, he is the 17th quarterback on the list. His rating is 95.7, which is it's alright. Let's see how he works for rating wise, what that translates to. He's 9th, so he's in the top 10 for rating. But let's see, he's got how many touchdowns? 20 touchdowns. What does that work out to be? Tied for 14th with Derek Carr of Oakland. But BUSqaller, he runs the ball so much, so you gotta put that in there too, Yes. So Russell Wilson is the 15th leading rusher in the league. His average is phenomenal, but that's because that man is fast. But does that make him MVP? If we take him off the Seahawks and put another person in there, if we put Derek Carr in there, are the Seahawks any worse? Are they any better? if we put Aaron Rodgers in there? Do the Seahawks lose a game? You know, J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt is a great defensive player, but he just doesn't touch the ball enough to warrant a MVP trophy. He's plays a couples offense. He's got like 3 touchdowns or whatever. I don't even know. Playing tight end, which is kind of gimmicky anyways, but hey, he's a big guy, so he can catch the ball once in a while. DeMarco Murray leads the league 1,700 yards rushing. He's got 12 touchdowns. It's 116 yards per game. That's pretty phenomenal. He's been in the league for a while. He's got 400 yards over the next guy. But does he win Dallas games, or is it more of a team effort there? Now, Aaron Rodgers. That's tough. I like Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is 6th in total passing yards, and his rating is 2nd to Tony Romo. There you go, Tony Romo. I didn't even mention him, but Tony Romo does not average as much passing yards, so I don't know. It could be Aaron Rodgers. 36 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. We'll have to discuss this one further. Alright, so going back to Fallen Enchantress, this is our battle here. I totally misjudged the strength of this monster. Totally misjudged that maul ability, thinking that it would miss, every once in a while, and it doesn't. Ever. And I'm like, crap. Bad day. I'm not doing enough damage. I like that all the characters attack now kind of around. And there's the maul. Just absolutely brutal. Brutal. Well, guys, that's our football discussion for the day. And this is getting close to the end of. Maybe I can take him. Maybe I can't. I'm not sure. It's not looking good though. Ooh, yay! Look at the dodge. So I'll put this game up and then working on another series too. I like Crash Landing, but it's just not. There's a lot of Crash Landing on YouTube, and that's it. I was defeated, and I cried and decided that I wanted to be done. So I quit. And